41 judges is interference with the independence of the judiciary. This is according to Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, David Maraga. The Chief Justice delivered his last State of the Judiciary address a few moments ago. Maraga, who is set to retire on the 12th of January 2021 upon attainment of 70 years as stipulated in the Constitution, will be proceeding on terminal leave next month. He will be remembered for annulling the 2017 presidential election and, more recently, his advisory to President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve Parliament. We'll be speaking shortly to KTN News' senior reporter Duncan Hayamba, who was there and will be giving us the highlights of that report. Meanwhile, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Anna Madi, highlighted that despite huge shortfalls in funds received, the institution has performed well. Let's listen in to what she had to say.
Progress and achievement realized in the discharge of our mandate, as guided by the Sustaining Judiciary Transformation Framework, SJT, has been possible with just 47% of our resource requirements. If Parliament were to grant us the 100% of our budget request, that's about 35 billion. The quality of service and the state of the judiciary would be world class. With very little, that's less than half the budget of Parliament and less than 1% of the national budget. I'm proud to say that we have accomplished a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, this report is being launched at a time when the country, and indeed the whole world, is experiencing the second wave of COVID-19. As a justice sector, we have responded by closures, restrictions, and scaling down of court services as necessary to ensure the health and safety of all is secured, while at the same time ensuring the wheels of justice do not grind to a halt.
Now, Christ is the Answer Ministry CITAM Bishop David Oginde had this to say about the outgoing Chief Justice David Maraga's leadership and the relations between the three arms of government. Take a look.
But Justice Maraga, as a person and as a leader, I think he has dispensed his, he has conducted himself in a manner that shows very courageous leadership. Now, obviously, that sometimes does not augur well for teamwork, because I would call it teamwork. You know, when you have in a team some people who are very strong and in their expression of their views, sometimes it may not work very well. And that's what we have seen with the three arms of government, the Parliament, the Executive, and the Judiciary. So the consequence of that is that the Judiciary has suffered some kind of sidelining, as it were. So you hear them crying every so often. This is very, very unfortunate, because what you would have hoped is that each arm of government would be strong, would assert itself and play its role, and yet there would be good collaboration between the three arms for the sake of the country. That is what is anticipated in our Constitution, that the Parliament would be a strong Parliament, making very clear laws that would govern the country, keeping the other arms in check, and yet working collaboratively when it comes to the common good of the country. The same with the Executive, that the President who is leading the Executive would also be a strong person with very clear vision for the country, and making sure that everything is going well, but still working together with the others. And the same with the Judiciary. This is a dissonance that we have seen, which is very unfortunate. And our prayer and hope is that even as Justice Maraga completes his term, that the person who then would come in would still maintain a strong position in the judiciary, but work more collaboratively with the other arms of government, and would see a better interaction and a better collaboration towards the common good of the country. Must have a strong mind and a tender heart. Strong mind in the sense that when you are making decisions, you take a very strong position born out of conviction, whatever you do, because that's the only way you can lead people, even in the face of difficulties, of challenges. But you must also have a tender heart. A tender heart gives you that willingness and readiness to be compassionate, to listen to other people's views, to adjust when necessary. And in this way, then you become a very, very powerful leader, because you have that balance between the head and the heart. When a person only has the heart, they tend to be tossed around to and fro by emotions. When a person only has the mind, then again they can become insensitive to realities. And so the kind of leadership I would hope for each of the arms of government are people who have a tough mind that can stand up in conviction of what they believe is right to do, but also have a tender heart that is willing to look at situations and adjust accordingly.
And to sports news, only family members and close friends were permitted